like that mindset. What was holding you back from getting back to working out and getting consistent with that again?
I think really not knowing what to do. I
Mm-hmm.
think that was a lot of it. Like really not knowing what to do, or you think you know, or you find kind of like a good little. There's a lot of good little workout plans there, but if it's not made for your body or where you are, you're gonna be so sore. Like we talked about it when I first starting to lift. I did not do the whole workout. Like I remember like that first 2 weeks, I was just doing the warm ups
Mm-hmm.
because that was a lot for me. But what people need to realize too, I think it's something important to say is, I'm not just trying to lose like that last 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I started at almost 300 pounds and I could do these workouts. Some with a
Mm-hmm.
little modification, the push-ups, the freaking split squats. But like I could still do them. And so I think a lot of people, when they see this workout plan, they're like, oh, well, I'm not there yet. Well, I wasn't, and I could still make it work for myself. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it was cheaper than really anything else out there. I've been pulled into, I would say like other weight loss groups before. Maddie and I have talked about this where, they have a brand, they release proteins, they release swag, and like they pull these women in because it's like this acceptance. But the minute like you can't buy into their swag or their protein, like you're not important anymore. Your results don't matter anymore. And I feel like also when a weight loss company, not a weight loss company, when a coach makes their own products, you're taking away from the work that a coach does. I'm not saying don't drink protein shakes if you like them. I'm not saying, if you find a pre-workout that makes you feel tingly and will get you into the gym, take it. But be careful who you're following and be careful who you're listening to, because if they have this supplement line, are they trying to get you results with just what you can eat and work out with
Yeah.
them? Or are they trying to sell you more products that really are going to do nothing more for you than something you could buy at Walmart?
Yeah, and that's always been a lot of my friends who are also coaches. Like we sit there and we're just like, like why don't we try sometimes? Because those brands are huge, right? They have thousands, millions of dollars powering behind their marketing. Of course, they're going to reach more people, and I think that's, from your experience, you were a customer in that world and saw like this is weird. Something is off. Why are they pushing supplements on me, right? I just want to feel better. I don't want to have to buy more crap because at the
Right.
end of the day, it is more crap. And, I can firmly say never have I ever told any client to buy anything specific. Like, you don't have to buy creatine. It's helpful. It's not
It can
necessary.
be.
Yeah, you don't. No one. I don't take pre-workout. I don't tell anyone to take pre-workout. If you want to, sure. It's not necessary. So I think that's something I remember that conversation we had, and I was appreciative of you telling me that because I do care about everyone here and want you guys to make progress. And I don't. I'm never gonna sling a product like a crappy
No.
product like that.
No, like I know like if you'll give like you'll be like, oh well, sometimes I use this, sometimes, but like, just not being sold like just weight loss
Yeah,
really influencing has just gone
it is a lot. I agree. What things?
like I think
Go ahead.
I think I admitted to you earlier that like I'm 35, not 25, and like seeing like I think like sometimes I get stuck in my own head, like I think like God, like I could, like I look back at like my senior year of high school when like phones were getting big and smartphones did exist already, but like I never saw, like I'm like looking at influencers sometimes like scrolling through and I'm like, this wouldn't have happened 15 years ago.
I know.
Like it's
I
so
agree.
strange.
I agree. What things about the Start to Live program have you really liked? And I like that you said, you weren't at that level yet, but you could still start it. What are some things you liked about it?
So one thing that I really liked is if you don't know what the thing is, you just click on the workout and it goes straight to a YouTube video. And the YouTube videos, this is my favorite part, go straight to the workout. It's not someone explaining it for 10 minutes.
That's why I made them like that.
I can't stand to go like try to figure out what a workout is or look at a recipe and have to read an essay or hear
I,
someone's life story first. Like there's a time for it. I'd love to hear a life story sometime, but I really just need to know how to make black eyed peas right now. Like, so that's one of my favorite parts.
nice.
It's very I can't think of the word right now. Uh, just you can kind of make it what you need it. Like where I started out with doing just the warm ups, and then I think when that first round I did, I was only doing, I think, going through it once with my warm up, and then I started doing that second set, and I was only doing like 6 reps for like doing very light because it moves up in intensity, and she doesn't want you to not be able to move 2 days from now. And I think that was the biggest thing too, is you could kind of do a workout, write down your reps and your weights and what you used, and how many sets I did, and if I went past, what I did of that workout. And if you're still sore 2 days later when you want to do your next workout, seeing what's still sore, because maybe your legs are sore but your arms aren't, so you want to do more sets with your arms but not as much. It's very trying to think of the word. Yeah, it's flexible. There we go. It's very flexible. You can make it your own and go through it multiple times. I think it's probably the best money I've spent on anything to do with working out, other than buying like some bands.
I love that. I'm glad.
I love you for this program. Like, it's really is.
I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry. I hate it. It's idiot proof. Like, just do it. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, it's literally spelled out for you. My toddler might be able to explain it to you. Like, it's so that's something that I really like. I also like that, if you have a question about it, you're really open to being like when I was like really against some split squats, I was like, what else can I do? You're like, just don't go down as far. And I'm like, I can't do this instead. You're like, no, just don't go down as far. So you kind of like held me to it, but then kind of helped me modify it when I couldn't come up with a modifier on my own. So just with how flexible it is, and it doesn't matter where you are. Obviously, if you're trying to lose that last 10 pounds and you have a lot of muscle and stamina, you can just up your reps or up your weight, or maybe skip that first green intensity week, or I just feel like I'm going to be using this for a long time. I actually just had it sent to have it bound, to have it printed and bound, instead of trying to look at it on my phone all the time. I'm like, you know what, we're getting this printed
once you make it. That's cool.
Yes. It'll take a couple weeks, but I'll get it. I'll send you a picture because I ordered it online. But yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna get this in book form.
Oh, I love that. I need to get one in book form.
I got really excited because I saw you can get it in dry erase book form, but we're not gonna talk about it being like $11 a page.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I was like, ooh, that's cool. I can check it up and then erase it.
Yeah, because I remember when I was making it, I have in the warm-ups, it's 3 sets. You can check the little box each time you do it. So that's a really smart idea. That's good. No, that's great. Thank you for that feedback, because that was my goal, to make this so you could use it forever and change it as you need it, and make it harder, make it easier if you're feeling super, super sore. And I think our Wednesday form checks have been really helpful too, because then I can see what you're doing, and change and help you modify what you're doing. So it's not hurting your knees or not hurting anything, or not making you like wake up the next day like, oh, I can't walk,
I remember when I sent you the videos of the waiter bows, because I'd never done them before, and I'm like, I can't figure out. Then finally I'm like, good mornings. It's like, you're like, yes, that hinge. I'm like, okay, because I had no idea once I could put that together, like once you saw that video and you're like, yeah, that kind of, I'm like, oh, okay, like, because to me, like, I guess the one thing I did take from dating that bodybuilder some years ago is that mind to muscle connection, and really just kind of being present in your muscles. And I think that's a big thing of slowing down and learning your form, because I don't know how many times, like, especially in the past couple weeks when I've been trying to push myself a little more because I have had more energy, where if I hadn't been listening to my muscles, I would have hurt my hamstrings. I would have gone too far. I would have bent down, like, when you hinge, there's a part where you just don't want to bend anymore. Your hamstrings are not ready for it, and they hurt the next day. I don't know how to explain that pain. It's not the muscle soreness. It's the, why did I do that? So that mind to muscle connection, being able to do the form checks, and if you're not right, obviously somebody catching it before you do real damage, or your body learns to do it that way. I know with the push-up challenge, there's a lot of people talking about, like, they're so used to having their arms, like in the wrong direction, like, or too far out. Mine was always too far out, like, because I got short little arms. So
yeah, no, yeah, and that, I love that part, because then we make sure you're moving correctly, right? I mean, between having the video you can watch and, oh, that's how I do it. Okay, that makes sense. And then me actually seeing what you're doing, that definitely is like one of my favorite parts, because I want to make sure you're getting the most out of this. You're not just doing a movement and then not building any muscle and then not burning any calories at the end of the day.
Well, too, even if you're not sitting in a form check, I think it's really good to take videos of yourself at least sporadically. Especially like, so for me, like, you know, being larger, sometimes I can't tell the angles my body are at in a mirror. But if I go back later and watch a video, I can see, no, I did bend to a 90-degree angle and come back up. I am keeping my back straight. I'm not being, you know, if I'm squatting down, I'm coming down like this. My back's not coming forward. Like, you know, you can see that later. And then you can also kind of see how far you've come. Or maybe if you're recording your squats every week and maybe something starts hurting and you don't know why, you can go back to the workouts you did right before it started hurting, and maybe you'll see maybe you got your leg kinked wrong, or you know, maybe that's the week you upped weights and you forgot and it's too soon. Like, so I think, you know, for me, every time I saw somebody recording themselves, I'm just like, but now I get it. Like, I get it.
No, I like that. That's why we do progress photos, videos, take measurements, so that we can see, oh, things are changing. I'm moving in the right direction, or maybe I need to take a left turn here. So that is super helpful. I'm glad you spoke to that. What would you tell someone who is like on the fence of start to lift, or just on the fence of starting their lifting journey? What would you tell them?
Start educated. So find a program like this. I have to say, I've spent a lot of money on a lot of things that involve weight loss and working out. And I think this is one of the best things I ever put my money into, and it wasn't that expensive. And I say that cautiously because times are hard, and like we're poor. I'm poor. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like, you know, my boyfriend works. He's got a good job, but times are hard. And so I say that openly, knowing that a lot of times, you know, people will push and be like, oh, well, you know, if you just gave up your coffee every day, you know, not all of us go to Starbucks and have coffee. This is my Alani Nu that I get once a week. It tastes like grape soda. That's why I drink it. It has nothing to do with it being an energy drink. It tastes like grape soda and it doesn't have sugar. But that's my treat. It's $2.18. So I do think that with there being like, if you're going to put your money into something, have it be somebody who's not trying to sell you something else. And so I think this is a really good program, whether you're just starting, because it has the warm-ups, because it explains, and because it kind of gives you access to your other challenges. And again, like, you know, if you have a question about this program, she's going to answer you. Like, it might be a day or two, but she's going to make sure you can be successful with the program. And so I just feel like, you know, for the price of a gym membership month, maybe 2 gym membership months, you know, it's at home. I don't have time to go to the gym right now. My boyfriend works like 65 hours a week. By the time he gets home, like, it's eat, dinner, go to bed. I don't have a whole lot as a home gym, but I do have some dumbbells now. I was using laundry detergent bottles. We've talked about this. Laundry detergent bottles. I promise you, with your shoulders, they're not that strong. Laundry detergent bottles will get you a long ways. I actually saw another fitness coach joking, because she talks about using plates instead of dumbbells when you first start to keep your arms a certain way. And somebody commented, they're like, yeah, but it's hard to hold 25-pound plates. And she was like, I've been doing this for 2 years, and I'm still using 10 pounds. What are you doing with 25 pounds on your shoulders?
Yeah, honestly.
So it was good to see somebody that, you know, it'd be like you kind of saying that kind of thing. Like, what are you doing using 25 pounds on your shoulders? I don't even use that.
Yep, 100%.
Your shoulders rotate. Take care of them. So I just think that for the price and for what you get out of it, it's not just a month long. It's I think written to be 16 weeks.
Yeah, you can do it 56.
I've been using it close to half a year.
Yeah.
I'm still not like where I can do all of it, but I can do most of it. We're getting there. I just think that if you, especially if you're budget conscious and you want to put your money into something that's worth it, do this program.
I love that.
That's what I honestly believe, because it's going to teach you how to lift. It's not just going to show you what to do, it's going to show you why you should do it. You're going to see that progression go, because now I can kind of see where, like, I could barely do a split squat and now I can almost do a full one. So it's kind of when I just, yeah, I think it's one of those that it really is. I can tell you, I can name so many programs that were just not worth the money, guys, that I spent a lot more than on.
I love that.
And this one, you can start at home. I do it downstairs sometimes. I'll have to find a video and post it in the group of my son picking up like a 2-pound dumbbell and walking around with it and trying to lift it up while I'm working out. And I'm like crying because that means he is paying attention to me and I'm showing him
Yeah,
something good.
I thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that because that's my goal, to teach you guys how to do it and not, take advantage of people and try to sell them crap they don't need, and change your generational health. That's what it comes down to, because when your kids, I don't have kids, but when your son is watching you, those are habits he's going to pick up for the rest of his life. Lifting is not going to be something foreign to him, and that's really cool just to see how you have changed and how your life is changing, your son's life is changing. I'm sure your husband has been making changes too, because by proxy, or spouses, boyfriends, whoever, they always, something else changes. So that is really, really cool to see. I don't want to take too much more of your time, but
You're fine. No, I think even if you don't have kids, you need to remember somebody's watching you. Somebody looks up to you. That's how I try to live now after all the crazy things I've done, is somebody looks up to me. And like the world we're coming into now is like, they're handed video games at 3 or 4, and they're not putting football and stuff anymore, and there's not running clubs as much anymore, and it's like people have taken out, I hate to say this, but it's kind of like people are so concerned with making sure their kid's going to be the next athlete that if your kid's just kind of like, they like to do it for fun, but they're not great at it, we don't push them to do it anymore. Yeah. And so I feel like when kids see older people trying to make themselves better still, it kind of pushes them to be better. Like I live in a low income neighborhood, and I feel like the more they see us out moving around, the more they come outside and play.
That's amazing. Look at you changing the world, literally. That's amazing. But thank you again so much. I'm like gonna cry. I'm like a very emotional person sometimes. I'm just so happy and just so proud to see how much you've changed. And I'm sorry, I'm like joking up. But I'm just really fortunate and really glad you took a chance on this, especially because you've done so many other programs. I probably were like annoyed at yourself that you attempted another program and it wasn't what you wanted. So
if I can get any of that money back.
I know. Right? I've done it too. Not gonna lie, I have done it too. So I'm just really fortunate for you, and I love having you in there. I know you're going to be in the next challenge, starting with us. So the next one, 4th round already, which is insane. So I'm excited for you. So that's great. I'm glad. Well, have a fantastic night, guys. Thank Chelsea. Give her a little.
Thank y'all.
She,
Thank y'all. I want to add one more thing.
Yeah,
if you are on Facebook, Instagram, X, Thread, whatever all the new stuff are, and you have a habit of following pages when you see one reel or one thing they post that they like, go through and cleanse your social media. Yeah. There are so many people that you don't need to follow, either because one, they make you feel like crap because you're not, size 2 and 105 pounds like they are. Yep. Or they give bad advice, or they're telling you to eat no carbs, or just anything that makes you feel bad, or you just get a bad vibe from, or that really isn't feeding into what you want to be. Get rid of it. That's what I want to leave you with, especially if it makes you feel bad about yourself, man. Instagram is bad about that. You don't need that negativity. I could not agree more. I should probably do a new cleanse. I try to do one. This is the only cleanse I approve of, guys. Social media cleanse. Me too. I try to do it like every few months when I remember, and I'm just like, why am I following this person? Why am I following that person? Because it does affect your mental health and, your day-to-day living, and you're thinking about these things. You don't need to think about it. Just focus on yourself and people that encourage you, make you want to be better, make you feel good, and, all that good stuff. So this was great. Thank you again so much. Thank you. I hope you have a fantastic night, and I'll talk to you guys later.